So what's happening today? Bitcoin got a little bit weaker. Bitcoin is now below 29,000. That has some people concerned. So take a look. This happened yesterday and a lot of people are still talking about it. Curve Finance, which is one of the biggest dexes in the space, unfortunately was exploited and hacked for over $47 million. That's a lot. Unfortunately, with a lot of these dexes, when they get hacked, we're talking about an enormous amount of money. And this is due to the protocol, as far as I believe, or the code base, Viper, that was exploited. So that's an enormous amount pulled out, right? Obviously, the hackers have disrupted things, and there's a lot of sell pressure. Like right now, if you look at Curve dropped quite a lot ever since that happened, right? So again, something like this is not good, right? And I can understand why so many Bitcoin maxis are like, okay, just stick with Bitcoin. You know, what is everyone else doing, right? And unfortunately, in cases like this, it seems like they may be right, but overall, I think this is still a very early space. It's still very immature. A lot of these dexes or bridges that people utilize and think that, you know, they're good to use, sometimes they're not. These are still relatively new products, so overall you still have to be careful. And a lot of people depend on Curve Finance to trade stable coins, and there's also synthetic tokens, and people use it for leverage as well. Okay, so unfortunately this happened. They are still in recovery mode right now. I believe a white hat hacker also recovered like 5 million of this, but this is still ongoing, and I definitely think this had something to do with with Bitcoin and overall market getting a little bit weaker. Founder of Curve, he may be in serious problem. I mean, he may be actually, besides his DEX being hacked, but he may be facing $100 million liquidation. I don't know the exact story why he needed to do it, but he put 47% of the circulating supply as collateral and borrowed basically $100 million on Aave. And because Curve went down so much, he may be facing liquidation, which is why he's starting a new pool and why he asked others like Justin Sun to buy tokens OTC to kind of stabilize prices. So that is not good at all. Again, this guy obviously being a full degen, and you know, I don't know what his deal is, why he needed to do it, but he did. But because of Curve going down so much now, of course, you have this situation, right? So again, I don't know. Curve is one of the biggest dexes out there, but for me, I've always stayed away. There's been a lot of controversy like this over the years. For me, I don't know. I don't think I could trust Curve going forward, but that's the situation. Hopefully this doesn't happen. If he does get liquidated, Curve itself, the token, will get decimated. Obviously, Curve will need to be sold, and he used that 100 million, and he bought a lot of other tokens with it. So it's gonna be disastrous if that 100 million gets liquidated. But anyways, that's also adding to a little fear today that's going on. Also, two other things. Now, I didn't know this specifically, but Coinbase's Base, their layer 2, launched shortly, maybe like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, right? And it's a very new chain. It's based on the Optimism code base, but now we have this, one of their biggest dexes, or maybe the only dex on Base, called LeadSwap, has also been exploited. And I hate to laugh at this, again, based on what I just said about Bitcoin Maxi saying, well, you know, why do you guys trust anything outside Bitcoin? Again, this is one of those situations where it makes you wonder, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be in any of these swaps, because the biggest one, or the only one that's on Base, has been exploited. I don't know how much right now, but yeah, it's also it's also a bad situation. And, you know, the team is offering the exploiter hacker to keep 50 ETH, right, and return the rest. You know, I don't know if these actually pan out. I've seen a lot of projects ask for you know, the hackers to return the funds and get a reward. I don't know if it ever worked out. You know, the thing is, a lot of times these hackers are actually from North Korea. I know a lot of the bridges that were hacked last year, they were all from North Korean hackers. So this time around, I don't know. Apparently there was already a meme coin out called BULLISH, okay? And it supposedly came out like a few days ago, got really, really hot, and then the founder just pulled everything out. It crashed to zero. And not only that, there are people that think that this is related to SBF. There are rumors that SBF is involved working with Gensler, somehow making a case and building it against Coinbase. I don't know if I trust that rumor, but some people have noticed that, yeah, the deployer funding came from FTX Exchange. Does that mean it came from SBF directly? We don't know. It's kind of hard to see that SBF would be pulling off something like this while sitting, you know, while under custody, basically. So I don't know if that's the case, but people, again, are pointing fingers at SBF. Whether or not he's behind everything that we're seeing, we don't know. But unfortunately, this also happened on Base. So Coinbase's Base is off to a horrendous start. Outside all the bad news, we know that Bitcoin is a little bit under 29,000 right now, so there's definitely a little bit of fear going on. But here's the thing to remember, okay? Bitcoin supply is still dropping. Bitcoin supply has been dropping since 2020. You can see right here, since 2020, the supply available is dropping. And this shows the supply increasing faster than the supply issuance, yes. And then since then, we've been going down and down and down and down. So Bitcoin is a long game. It's not a short game. It will continue to get more scarce. The supply will continue to go down and demand will continue to rise up. Okay, so short-term volatility, non-movement of price, you know, short-term really doesn't mean anything when, here you go, we can measure it. We could see that since 3 years ago, the supply has been diminishing. There is more demand than supply available and will continue to be like that maybe forever. And also right now, basically, Bitcoin is looking like this. The volatility is at a historic low. We are at a point where basically Bitcoin is ready to jump. And when it does, well, this is the type of movement we'll see, right? You look at the halving event, you look at the bottoms, right? Specifically bottoms over here. You look at the halving events, right? What happens going from bottom to top? 660x, 110x, 22x. I don't know, 10x, 15x this time around, right? So this is what's important, what to focus on.